Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are we doing today? Is it actually still morning?
Yeah, it's 9:24.
It's 9:24 a.m. We are coming into Princeton along the Smilkameen River. Flowing pretty good. A little dusting of snow on the ground. Still have our 11-foot 6-inch load on the back here. We're gonna do a nice hard climb up Mine Hill towards Sunday Summit. Let's hammer down. Yeah, we left fairly early today morning. We could have probably stayed home another 2 hours or so. But what would we have done at home? Play video games and worry about the weather? Forecast is calling for more snow. You can see a little bit of snow on the road here. It's like, why don't we just go? We weren't in a rush in the morning. We just got up really nice and casually, got ready, and then went for the walk to the truck. Did a nice pre-trip, and off we went. And now we know we're going to hit the worst of the mountain passes during the warmest time of day. Minus 1 degree Celsius here.
It was -4.
A little further down the valley and up on the passes, yep. And the roads look a little slickery. With the snow and the ice the way it looks, I'm just assuming the roads are very, very black ice or snow covered. Take our time on this and we'll see how the summit is. Every corner like it's going to be slippery. I still do have engine brakes on, not the highest setting, but I do have them on still.
And they do say it's partly slippery, icy, all the way to Sunday.
Oh, rock in the windshield. Don't think it cracked anything.
Kind of looks like it's
Kind of clear.
kind of clear, but
Yeah, so it'll be kind of like this all the way up there.
Allison.
Where is that camera?
That's Sunday Summit.
Sunday Summit, okay.
And then Allison
Is clear.
a lot more clear.
Yeah. So it'll be good this time of day. We're supposed to get some more snow tonight. So
Yeah, but you can see Hope Slide here.
looks like black ice.
Black ice again, yeah. Going down. This is where I love the cameras, where you can just do this.
Look up the cameras and see what the road looks like. Gives you a good idea of what to expect. Welcome to Princeton. Smilkameen River going over it. These lanes are 10 feet wide. So we're overhanging the lanes by 1.5 feet. Definitely a lot of white line riding. Don't worry, Van, you don't have to try to pass me down here. You'll have all the time in the world when we start climbing. I'm heavy.
What are they building here?
I don't know what they're building there. It looked big.
Yeah.
We'll see. A little under half a tank of fuel will be fine to make it to Hope. morning we're going to meet up with the pilot cars and hit Abbotsford at 9 a.m. sharp.
At least that's your goal.
That's my goal.
Loaded on 5 down cover.
That was Princeton. I guess there's the upper bench part here. -2. There's a wide load coming down. He's wider than I am. Not that much wider than me. Probably 12 feet, 11 and a half.
Yeah. We had blue sky.
We did have a little blue sky up by Karamias. It was beautiful. Made a great bonus video. But of course, if you're watching this, you guys saw the bonus video last week, Saturday already. We drove from Penticton up through Karamias.
Oh, there's blue sky that way.
It's a little patchy here and there.
I saw a video on Reddit yesterday for a Florida sunset. Completely colorful and then gray. It was like divided. We get that just with cloud and blue sky.
Didn't have the big blade in front of it, just the small blade underneath it.
I use that with sand in, so.
Yeah. This looks very black icy here again. This should be interesting. I think before we start climbing Mine Hill, I will turn all the lockers on. If it continues looking like this. The load is very well balanced because how heavy it is. We forced to balance it really well. So my drives have quite a bit of weight on them. I'm starting to feel a little spinning tires there. I'm not going to turn the lockers on now because we're kind of spinning tires here. But for sure the next hill we're going to turn our lockers on. I'm trying to run the gravel here. Run a little wide. Get into the fresh snow instead of the black ice. Shh, don't tell people to run in the white stuff instead of the black stuff because the white stuff is where the grip is. Embarrassing spinning out without even having your lockers on.
Quite a few logs there.
Yeah. I think they sort through the logs there. The small ones get turned into wood chips and the big ones go to lumber mill.
Makes sense.
weird going home for a whole afternoon and then being back on the road. It doesn't feel like a Thursday. Definitely doesn't feel like a Thursday.
Nope.
It's got a really well-rested weekend Monday feel to it. Took half a day off and I feel like we had a nice long weekend.
Makes a big difference.
Sleeping in your own bed probably helps too.
There's something about your own bed, a hot meal, like there's just comforts are at home. Hot shower. People don't realize those three things make difference. That feels good.
It does. It's a little blinding driving into it, but it does feel good. Watch for deer in this area, but this time of day should be okay. It's usually morning and dusk. You have deer always crossing the road here. Bumpy section of road here. Riding a Bronco. Switchback, and you see Mine Hill in front of us. Directly in front of us is that man-made mountain. Gotta climb up that.
You know what I should have done?
What should you have done?
Buy some hot cocoa or a hot tea.
Yeah,
I could have made it this morning and brought it in a thermos.
that would have been a great idea.
Yeah. Instead I didn't do that.
Why didn't you have that idea
I know.
3 hours ago?
Didn't do that, and then it's been cold for a while. That would have been so refreshing.
Yes, I said I was going to turn my lockers on, but the road looks fine here. -4. Those black lines cut in the corner like that and they continue, ABS brake on, he lost his brakes. He was hard on his brakes the whole way down. And just see him cutting every corner. And then here, you can see applied brakes even more because other brakes are starting to lock up. You can see he finally let off the brakes over here. Now he's still in his brakes, cutting the corner all the way across. That must have been a heck of a ride around this corner. He needs new tires. Yeah, it looks maybe like slippery on here. I'm going to lock him up just for the sake of, just in case. One thing I really like about this truck is they took the safety feature out of when you can lock up your brakes. So many trucks will not let you lock up the brakes unless you go a certain speed. I can lock up these, not brakes, lock up the axles. I can lock these up at full speed limit.
Other ones you couldn't.
I had to slow right down and lock them up. Sometimes by the time you got to that speed, you've already spun out.
Yeah.
So the only way you get around it is by locking up your brakes every single time at the bottom of the hill when you're going slow, which is not great either. That's worse, right? So that safety feature, if and when I get a new truck in a year or two, I will probably push them to deactivate that safety feature. I'm intelligent enough to know when to turn them on and when not to. I don't think I've spun out a single time with this Kenworth.
I haven't been with you after enough.
I've chained up a couple times. I don't think I've ever spun out. Maybe I have, but not often. Turn our forward flashers on. This is going to be a slow climb. Kilometers an hour. Speed limit's 100. No, it's 80 over here. Speed limit's 80. He's coming down nice and slow as well. He's worried about the same thing. Black ice. You start sliding downhill on black ice, you're jackknifing and crashing. There's no way out of that. The road's really nice here. Look at the brake lines. Somebody came down the mountain in the wrong lane. Both sides locked up. See the ABS brakes, dots all the way down. Someone came down this way too fast.
Well, is that the same one from earlier?
Well, no, because this, unless they have them locked up going uphill. I wonder if they had brakes just lock up on them.
Like, to me it seems like the same one from earlier.
Because or else they're in the wrong lane coming down the mountain. I bet you they locked up their brakes down there, they malfunctioned, and now they were locked up all the way up the mountain. Yikes.
Like, it's the same pattern, the same freshness look to it.
Yeah, Yeah, you can see the fresh scratches in the gravel. Why would they be locked up going uphill like this? And why is he not maintaining his lane? He's all over the place. There's a story there to be told. -35 kilometers, -5 degrees Celsius. Kilometers, 26 kilometers. That'll be our low point. Let's turn the lockers off. The road's fine here. It's just in the corners where it's shaded where
Such an unpleasant smell.
stale air smell as I turn the lockers off. The W9 still has air lines going all the way to the switches, and the lockers get locked in using air, not electronics. So when you turn the lockers off, you have stale air venting into the truck. Still see the locked up brakes here and there. You see the line. Yeah, whatever is wrong with that dude's trailer. The dude's cutting corners all over the place, so he's an aggressive driver. Expect an alligator up ahead, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 alligators up ahead.
That was the whole trailer. Just easier.
Because both sides are still making black lines here. Maybe the black lines are just the tire bouncing. That one axle locked up. When he went heavy, when you had hard brake into that corner, he locked up the axle and the brakes never released. And there's enough ice here, we don't see the black lines. And then wherever the ice stops, you see black lines again.
Can we title this on Try tries to be Sherlock Holmes.
Dude blew his tires somewhere down the road. Unless he got lucky enough, the brakes unlocked at the brake check.
Say, hey, Sherlock.
You're a dork. And this road is icy here. Wee doggy, she's icy. Engine brakes are off.
That looks like smoke.
That does look like smoke. You know why it looks like smoke? Because it's smoke. That's why it looks like smoke.
Hey, Sherlock.
Still -5. Speed limit's still 80 up here, which is annoying, but it's kind of relaxing too, doing the 80 thing. If you're in a rush, it's super annoying. We're not in a rush, and it's just very nice and relaxing. Driving the beautiful snow, even though the highway is black ice and blinding. My tires are nice and warm by this time of day, and they're really soft winter tires, so it handles black ice pretty darn good. Big open flames there. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Must be from the last forest fire. They've got a bunch of logs, dead logs piled up or whatever, and they're burning all the old logs to get rid of the fuel. Now's the time of year to do that. There's more spots, yeah. Yeah, or maybe that's logging. All the bark and rotten trees piled up when they do the logging and cutting down trees.
Could be that.
And they burn those to reduce fuel for future forest fires. Engine brakes back on. But I'm also dragging my brakes. Just barely. I don't need the truck to brake harder than the trailers right now. The road is slippery. And this type of weather, you turn your engine brakes on when you want to use them, and then immediately turn them off because you don't want to forget that they're on, and hit a slippery section, take your foot off the throttle, and the truck immediately goes into braking mode and jackknife. No, that's not personal experience at all. I've never jackknifed, but I've had some close calls. Usually at a really slow speed, pulling into a driveway and forgetting your engine brakes are on. You pull into the driveway, the road was fine, but the driveway is snow-packed, and all of a sudden you pull into the driveway and engine brakes kick on and you're all sideways holding on for dear life, and you're hitting buttons very, very quickly. Oh, lockers on, please. That looks awfully slippery. You know why it looks awfully slippery?
Tell me, Sherlock.
Because it is awfully slippery.
Good job. That's counting. You have 14 buttons down there.
Got 14 buttons. What about all these buttons on this
I
side?
can't count those.
There are 6 buttons on this side, and then I guess they're toggle switches.
Yeah.
And then did you count these?
No.
So 14 plus 6.
You can do this, Sherlock.
Okay, 20 plus 4, so 24 toggle switches.
Yeah.
And a lot of them get used regularly. It's not just like getting in a car where you have throttle, brake, and steering wheel. In a big truck, you're switching toggle switches all the time.
Yeah, a whole bunch of gauges.
Oh yeah,
and
then there's also switches on my steering wheel.
Yep.
I've got 3 engine brake, well I guess 4 engine brake buttons on my steering wheel, and then cruise control on the steering wheel. So those get used as well on a regular basis.
Well, of course, you have your wipers and your parking brake and
Yeah, I guess the cruise control, wipers, and parking, that's all regular things. I guess not the trailer brakes, that's different, but cruise control and wipers and stuff is normal to all the other cars, but you don't have the extra buttons for engine brakes on the steering wheel.
and then you're shifting, like, there's stuff.
Take our time on this stuff here. Just let it coast. Oh, my Isaac literally pops up with coast. Yeah, I'm glad we left early because now I feel like zero pressure to drive fast on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If we had left it an hour or two later, I would have felt like, oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Minus 6 degrees outside. This is solid black ice. It's not a steep hill, so I didn't turn lockers on. You can see lines of people skidding on this stuff. You can see people have locked up their brakes on the black ice. Close enough ahead of us that the lines are still there. The reason you can see the line is basically with the brakes locked, the tire is hot enough to instant melt the ice and then instantly refreeze. I'd much rather drive in snow than this stuff. This stuff is the more dangerous of the.
Yeah, it definitely is.
ice road trucking here. This dude's going pretty quick for the ice. Brake check here and then just continue down the hill. I'll just edit out the brake check and hammer down again. Wow, hammer down for the conditions. What's a really lightly hammer down? Feather down?
Feather down.
Tap it in, tap it in, tap it, tap it, tap.
I'm like, I don't know. I have to think about that one.
I don't have my lockers on, but if I start spinning, I'm going into the center lane. Good thing with this road being so icy, that dude with his blocked up brakes, the tire just skidded down the ice. Oh, no issues here. Sunday Summit. Does it say elevation 1,282 meters? All right, what does the sign say for grades? So you are here. We got a 6% grade, and then a 40-kilometer corner, and then a 50-kilometer corner, and then a 40-kilometer corner, and then a 9% grade, and then a 40-kilometer corner before the bottom. So it's mostly 6%. It gets a little shallower, and then back to 6%, and then a steep 9% grade.
All within 7 kilometers.
All within 7 kilometers. Going all the way down to the Smilkameen River. Come on, car. You can do it. The road's misting a bit over here on this side of the hill.
It is.
With the sun directly hitting it over here, this isn't slippery. Yeah, this is not slippery at all over here. This is nice. course, anytime the road's wet like that, we're going to get dirty windshields, but still going to take our time because we're heavy. And we know we got slow corners coming up. Unfortunately, there are no passing lanes all the way from the top of Sunday Summit to all the way to the bottom. The first actual passing lane is almost all the way to Manning Parks when you get into the flats.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of places where there's a broken line where it's not double solid, where you have an opportunity to pass, but it's usually not a great opportunity. You'd have to be pretty quick on your feet to take advantage of those. Having said that, at the 9% downgrade, a lot of people pass you on that double solid. So you just kind of expect that to happen. Because the speed limit here is 100, we're going down 50, 60 kilometers an hour, which always means you get a line up behind you. These corners eat up quite a few trucks too. I see black lines here and there, but the dude that had the dotted line going down, I don't see his brakes. Maybe he got him to unlock at the brake check.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm with you there, Sherlock.
I feel like she's using it as an insult, but
Can't quite figure it out if I am or not. You're the one that wanted to take me with you today.
I did. She said, I could just stay at home. I'm like, I'd prefer you to come with.
So this is what you get.
This is my fault.
Yeah.
Sassy Jess.
Why can't I be spicy?
You're allowed to be spicy. It'd be so boring if we were all calm and happy every single day. I mean, we can be happy and spicy, but...
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Imagine if the whole world actually thought the way you wanted. It'd be a boring world.
Yep.
This is the less than 6%. They didn't show what percent this was, but it's less than 6%. Probably 4 or 5%. Right before the 9% starts. Here's the 9%. Grab a gear, full engine brakes. This is this part that people often pass you downhill, crossing the double solid. Right after the next corner. Grab another gear. We're heavy enough and we gotta come down a little slower. slippery. Nobody coming to Bass? I know there's at least one vehicle behind us. Alright, a little bit of brake, just like 5% PSI. I want another gear before this corner. We're doing 40 kilometers already. This corner munches a lot of big rigs and cars. As soon as it gets slippery, it's a hungry trash panda. Trash monster?
Like, don't offend the trash pandas.
No. Yep. Really dark to blinding bright. Really dark to blinding red. Yep. Take sunglasses on, sunglasses off, sunglasses on, sunglasses off. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep,
No,
yep, yep, yep.
no. I swear you haven't had that much sugar today.
I had like one muffin, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the bottom. Does not mean the twisty, windy roads are done yet. Not until the 4-lane. I mean, and then you only have 4-lane for a while, and then you're back. Oh. No, I don't think that's the guy with the locked-up brakes. Because there's skid lines on the ground for locked-up brakes, but I don't think that's the same trailer. That trailer, maybe it was. Maybe got backed in. It could be the trailer with locked-up brakes.
Like, what are the chances?
Because if he had pulled forward and then backed up, that would make sense why the trailer didn't have any tracks going into it, yeah. Could be. And I think we're done with sunglasses for today. That's it. I'm not driving into the sun again today.
I'd like to prove you wrong somehow.
Unless something goes very wrong and we have to drive when the sun is starting to set already. So I hope you don't prove me wrong.
Yeah, don't jinx us now yet.
You're the one that was jinxing me.
No.
Yeah, I think because of the snow and ice, people have decided they don't need to travel and just staying at home.
Yeah.
Call the boss, go, hey, the roads are too slippery to go out. And I agree with that. If you don't need to travel on roads like this, why would you? Slow down. No, thank you. Going slow enough as it is. Trying to go as fast as possible. road like this, you kind of got to be careful. The road's really narrow here. So if we have oncoming traffic, we may have to slow down and stop. Especially if we see another oncoming wide load. Couple more corners left before we get into the 4-lane section towards Manning Park. You know what? We're driving into the sun.
And?
Nothing.
And?
I'm like, dang it. I should just shut up and not tattled on myself.
And I'm right.
Perhaps you're right. Sometimes deceiving how much the road curves back.
It does. Sometimes it confuses me what direction we're going in.
And for those of you that are wondering where the sun is in the sky right now, because it's pretty low in the sky, it's pretty much directly south to us. The sun never gets above us in the winter in Canada. The sun comes up kind of on the southeast corner, comes up a little bit, but stays at like, let's say at like 8, 9 a.m. type of height up in the sky. It just stays at that height and just kind of skids around the south side and then sets on the north or the west-south side. For the people that live closer to the equator, that's a weird concept that the sun doesn't get directly above you. We don't get the sun directly above us here in the winter. It's only in the summer we get that. All right. Messy 4-lane highway here. I bet you some of these shaded parts are very slippery.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna call it a day here. We're just approaching the east gate of Manning Park. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All the way up Sunday Pass and all the way down Sunday. So we'll see you guys tomorrow going into Vancouver with pilot cars if everything goes well. Everything should go well.
It should go well.
We're ahead of schedule. We should be good. So, yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are out of here. Oh, look, here's Eastgate gas station. You guys absolutely rock.
Adios.